Hey guys, welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. It is Ashley here.
Lauren here.
And Naz.
Oh, she didn't say here.
Present.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Podcast. So, you know what's funny is last week, Lauren and I had a friend over. She's the best. Love her so much. And she said something like, I had to tell my friends that Lauren and Ashley don't drink. And I'm like, I mean, it's not that I don't drink, because I definitely, I'll have a drink. You know, I'll have a couple a week, even. But I don't drink to get drunk.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, and I don't know if this applies to anyone any times before us, but in order to say I drink means I have to kind of binge drink. Is this a thing?
That's so, I know. I feel the same exact way. Like, I was in an office on Friday, and everyone goes, "What are you doing for Cinco de Mayo?"
What?
And I'm like looking at all these white people
Maybe
doing
because
Spanish
your last name is
birthday.
Perez. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, guys, I'm totally kidding. Everyone,
You're not totally kidding.
Everyone made plans for Cinco de Mayo to go out drinking. And I don't know if it's because it landed on a Friday, but I was like, is this a thing people are still doing? Like, I did this in college, but like out there in the workforce, like everyone was like looking forward to binge drinking on Cinco de Mayo. Like that was a thing. And I found it so off-putting. I was like, no, I didn't make plans to like go out and
get
drink on the
blacked out
5th
drunk.
day of May.
Yeah, seriously. People
Do
that
you know what
work
I mean?
in a workplace, you know, with offices and computers, they need an excuse to get annihilated.
Is that what
I
it
think.
is, I think?
Yeah.
I do tend to notice that my friends who work in very boring environments, like a standard cubicle, they tend to be the ones that go out and get drunk. You know, they're the ones that are like, "Oh, we're going out. We're getting, we're going to get drunk." And I'm like, "What?"
I never
Yeah.
wake up after drinking and was like, that was a good decision.
Yeah, we should
You
do
know?
that again.
Yeah.
No way.
Here's the thing. In college, I was like a huge binge drinker. Like I was in a sorority. I would play all the drinking games, like every weekend, tailgates. Like we drank to drink. Like
Yeah.
literally after college, we would be at the bar at 9 and leave at like 3 a.m. And we would drink and then go home and like throw up. And the next morning, like
actually
wake up
do it
and do it again.
again.
Yeah.
That's
and that
so
was the thing.
crazy.
But then I moved to LA and I grew out of it. And you guys know that I had a roommate who's one of my best friends. I love you, Lauren. And Lauren still wanted to always go out and drink, and I just grew out of it. Like, when are people going to grow out of it?
Yeah, and in college and in grad school and like whatever, and still currently today, like if I'm going out with a group of people, I know I don't have to drive, I'm on vacation, or there's going to be a hot guy around, then yeah, I'm going to drink and I'm going to want to feel buzzed. But I know myself personally, if I go beyond the buzz point, I will be throwing up and debilitated the next day. So for me, depending on the time span, if it's a 4-hour time span, I know I really can't have more than 4 drinks. And that's basically the thing. You're supposed to have 1 drink per hour.
I think that if you haven't grown out of this by 28, then I think that you're going to continue to drink for
The
your
rest
life.
of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good age. But Ashley brought up a good point, because Ashley, I feel like you only really like to drink
only
if
like to
there's
drink
a
when there's a
hot
guy.
guy around.
Me too.
It's the only time I feel like it's worthy.
Which oddly, I kind of agree, not completely. Like I'd like to have like a nice glass of wine at night, when I'm at home, or like drink on the weekends, like if it's brunch. But if there's not a guy around that I like, or there's no reason to drink, like why are you wasting the calories?
Absolutely. It doesn't make any
All about
sense.
calories.
And I know that people are going to be like, are you joking me? Like, that's so lame. Like, you need a guy to drink. I'm like, and I'm not going to get drunk in front of the guy, but you guys have seen me on TV. I need a little bit liquid courage in order to like actually start a conversation and to be flirty. And that
touch
helps.
some
But-
shoulder.
touch some shoulder, but I'm not going to go overboard because I don't want to throw up in front of him. Secret time. I actually did get so nervous before Men Tell All for Caitlin's season. I was in the audience, and I had gone on a cleanse for 2 weeks where I ate nothing but like greens and non-fatty foods. Like everything was lean and clean. And then that night, I was done, because I wanted to show up and I wanted to look good for Ben, not going to lie, but I also wanted for Jared to be like, oh shit, she looks really good. So That day, I went crazy, ate a lot of junky food, and then had 2 to 3 drinks over the span of 4 hours. And I had to throw up in the bathroom at the bar that we were at. And then I just went back and I started socializing again.
That's how you do it.
Like a trooper. Yeah, that's how you have to do it. Yeah.
And also, just one more thing before we get back to the real topic of today. It was funny because I found myself recently excusing the fact that I'm not going to drink. Like, I was at this event the other day for the Kentucky Derby, and Olivia was like, "What are you going to drink? Are you drinking? What are you having?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to because I have a flight tonight." And I was like, "Why couldn't I just say I'm not going to because I don't feel like I'm just not going to? No, not drinking."
Yeah, it's like people like pressure you weird. Yeah, they look at you weird if you don't drink. They also think
like, oh my God, like, did I touch, is it a touchy subject for you? Are you a drunk and you're not supposed to touch alcohol? That's what people look like.
Right.
Oh, totally. Naz, even yesterday, when we were at that bar, we were at the MTV Movie Awards, and this very silly lady was like, "Can I get you guys a drink?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to have a water." And she's like, "You're not drinking alcohol?" And I'm like, why is that such a big deal? Why does it matter to you?
If I drink alcohol, yeah, that's, oh my God. Wait, can we just say something real quick? So many times I've been at people's birthdays or events where I don't want to drink. It is your birthday.
You don't want to waste like calories. You want to feel hydrated.
And not only that, I like to wake up. You guys know I wake up really early the next morning to go boxing. Like, why would I wake up hungover? You know what I mean? Like, why would I drink the night before? So when I go to people's birthdays and I say don't drink, they get mad.
It's because they want you to have a good time at their birthday.
I'm going to have just as good of a time.
I know, but people think that if you're drunk, then you're going to be like, that was so fun.
But I can have a good time not being drunk, which is so annoying.
It makes me sad for people that do need to be drunk in order to have a good time.
But here's the thing. Let's clarify. We will drink.
Like drinking. I'm fine with it.
I will drink.
And I will drink.
Yeah.
but I don't have the intent to binge drink. When I say let's go out, it's not like let's get sloshy.
Right. Like wait, what is sloshy?
Sloshy.
What is sloshy?
Is that Dad's word?
What does
our dad says
my dad goes, "You blottoed."
Oh yeah, my dad said, "I got blottoed last night."
I've never heard these words before ever.
Sloshy is something that our high school friends came up with.
Oh really? My dad
hashtag sloshy.
Also, he'll be like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "No, Dad. I'm sitting here alone having a meal with you. Like, I don't need a beer to talk to you."
But here's the thing. I want to counter that and say sometimes it is nice to just, like, have a beer. That's fine. Like, you don't only need to drink when there's a guy around.
Now, I don't understand binge drinking, but I definitely get having a glass of wine at the end of the day, lying on the couch, lounging with a meal.
Oh, 100%. I started this new thing. I signed up for Wink. It's WINC, and they actually send boxes of wine to my house, so I don't even have to get off the couch. And it's amazing because I stock up. Because what I used to do is I used to just buy one bottle at a time at the grocery store, and then I'd have to go back when I was done. And so Wink has literally changed my life.
That's awesome. You know what I have an embarrassing problem with? I actually don't even know what kind of wine I like because I just listen to what my mom and dad get. So I go, I think I like dry. But I think that there's like some Wink test where they actually, you take a quiz and then it tells you what kind of wines you actually prefer.
It's literally the best personalized wine club. And you know how like we always pick bottles just based on the label?
Yeah.
Because like whatever's the prettier label is the one we get. They actually like partner with local artists to develop wine labels that have like unique art on the label.
That's sweet.
So every bottle you get is like really pretty.
Sometimes I use them as a vase afterward.
Oh my God, that's such a good idea. Yeah. I love that. So literally you guys can get Wink now because they're offering $22 off your first order when you go to wink.com/get it. And that's WINC, not K. And it gets even better because everyone hates paying for shipping. So Wink will actually pay for your shipping on orders of 4 bottles or more. So you can stock up for like Bachelor Mondays.
Bachelor Mondays coming at you.
So excited.
Bachelorette Mondays.
Yeah, that's true. So literally take this out of your to-do list. Go to wink.com, WINC/get it to get $22 off your first order. That's wink.com/get it.
Okay, so Ashley, Naz, and I have been talking recently about like dating in high school. I'm like, I wonder if it's the same today. If that's how you get a boyfriend in high school, or do you text all day in high school? Do they take your phones away still? So we searched high and low for our favorite high schooler, and we have her here today to ask her some very personal questions. So everyone, welcome Geraldine.
Yay, Geraldine!
Also, just to mention, Geraldine is not a family member. She was a stranger as of a half an hour ago.
Wait, Lauren, how did you find
I
Geraldine?
just tweeted out. I said we're looking for a high schooler to ask some questions on the podcast, and like a million people responded. But I read all her tweets. So I'm like, these are interesting. All right.
I know. Like I remember when you posted it, it was like 5 seconds, and I was like, oh no, this is my chance. No one's responding. So I was like, go. And I was like, there's no way she's ever gonna like even like look at me. And then you like responded to me, and I was in the middle of class, and I screamed, and everyone's like, what's going on? And I was like, guys,
Stop.
guess what? And then like my teacher and everything was just like dying laughing.
That's awesome.
That's
So you do
amazing.
use your phone during school?
yeah, every day, every class period.
Wait, before we go to any more, Geraldine, tell us like where you go to high school, what your name is, what grade you're in.
Her name is Geraldine.
So my name is Geraldine, and I go to Orchid Academy High School. It's like a school of 500 people in the middle of nowhere in California. It's like an hour north of Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And I'm
Holy shit, she drove 3 hours
Yeah.
to be here today.
literally, and
That's awesome.
I'm 18 years old, and yeah, that's about it.
When did you turn 18?
Last April.
Okay.
So like pretty soon.
So April.
Yeah.
A fresh 18, guys.
Fresh 18, guys.
That sounded
And
really creepy.
where are you going to school next year?
I'm going to a school in Denver. It's like super small in Colorado.
Is your school like a Christian school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Colorado Christian.
Okay. Cool.
Currently now, is it a
now
Christian
Christian?
school?
Yes.
I wonder if that changes the culture. Does it? Does it make you guys actually want to be more angsty?
Yeah, like, do you guys rebel more, or do you think you're like pretty set in like the Christian ways?
I think that my school is like pretty set because it's so small. Like the college I'm going to is I think like 1,200 students, and like if you go there, like you for sure want to go there, and you're not like rebelling.
So it's not like the Billy Joel song, like the slutty girls don't go to Christian school.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Wait, so is your high school, is it an all-girls school, or it's just a regular Christian school?
No, my
Like
high
girls and
school
guys?
isn't Christian. My college.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Is it public?
Yeah, it's public. It's like a
okay.
charter school. It's
Okay,
weird.
awesome. I love charter schools. I have like a personal love for charter schools. But anyway, so let's talk about this. Have you ever had a boyfriend?
No, actually.
Is that what drew you to the podcast?
Yeah, is that what drew you to the
I'm not gonna lie.
podcast?
Yeah, that did. And
my
I just
God.
relate to like everything Ashley does and like all of you say.
Aw, so do you
Lauren.
feel like, what is dating like in high school now? Do you feel like it's just a generation thing, like no one's getting girlfriends anymore, or do you feel like
I was getting boyfriend.
boyfriends anymore? No, I mean like guys
Yeah,
aren't wanting
getting
girlfriends
girlfriends,
anymore. Like, what is the culture like in high school when it comes to dating?
Yeah, so my mom and I were actually talking about this like last week because she was saying that it was normal for her to like go out on dates with like different guys like every weekend, and I'm like, that doesn't happen. Like a guy doesn't ask me out. It's like the first thing that happens is he like slides into your DMs, which is
They
like a
still
red
slide
flag.
into your
No.
DMs if you go to school with them?
Yes, no,
That's
that's
so
real.
awkward.
No, okay,
Like
I
he
have to
won't
say a
come
funny
up and
story.
talk to you in the hallway. They'll just slide.
If they don't know you, they'll like slide in. But then like if I know the guy, he'll just kind of like say, "What's your Snapchat?" And then we'll start Snapchatting, and then he'll like, yeah, you Snapchat for a while, and then you're talking, like in quotations, talking. You're not dating for like forever. It feels like, and then usually something happens and it ends, or you like date other people, and then rarely like you become like boyfriend girlfriend.
Oh my god!
Wow,
this is
so
interesting.
Snapchat. So you start with Snapchat. Are guys snapping more than one girl at the same time?
Yeah. No, I remember I was like hanging out with a guy one time. We were on the couch and he like pulled out his phone and he had like 12 Snapchats from other girls, like all different girls. And I was kind of just like, oh, I'm like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I'm one of your 13 girls that you were like Snapchatting.
I
But
would
it was
have
like
thrown
fine.
up a little bit.
Can't you
That's
see
so
like
sad.
who your best friend is on
They
Snap?
took
Yeah.
that away though, or they
Oh,
brought it back.
I don't know.
Lauren would know.
Okay, years ago, I got in mad trouble because I was snapping multiple people, and then someone saw that someone else was on my top. But I think they got rid of it, but they may have brought it back.
Interesting.
I'm not sure.
My question for you is that you're telling me that there's a step before talking now, because in our lives now, I use the word talking, like, oh, we were talking. That means like you went on a couple dates, you texted a little bit. But you guys always snap before texting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wait, but Does anyone pass notes in high? Because in my high school and middle school, people would pass notes. Wait, you're laughing. Is that not a thing anymore?
No one passes notes.
Wait,
You just
guys.
text each other.
Yeah, everyone just like you start out texting and it's like super casual, like, oh, what's your Snapchat? And then after like a while, then you can like get someone's number, I guess.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
wait,
that's how
after-
high school works. I
Wait,
don't know
you
if other
don't even-
people.
Go ahead.
No, I think you're probably talking
Yeah, I
to the
think
generation.
that makes
Okay.
sense. I mean, I like using Snapchat like when I'm being really creepy. I'm just starting to talk to someone, so then I see when they opened it and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So that's clutch for me.
Right, because then you're not having anxiety over
Yes.
whether or not they read it.
Yeah,
but the
right.
guys, this is kind of insane. Like they don't even get each other's numbers anymore. We are way more far behind than I thought we were. Oh no.
Okay, this might be a little bit TMI, but you know, that's what we do here on this I Don't Get It podcast. Can we talk about sex for a second? And when is it appropriate to have sex in high school? Like what stage? In the snapping phase, in the talking phase, in the exclusive phase? Because I'm a little bit concerned, even more so for your generation than I am for ours, because for us, we're pretty darn casual.
Because you're silver.
But yeah, but I'm thinking like if these kids aren't even texting or flirting in real life until months in,
What happens
then
when
what's
you
going to
finally
happen
get
in
together?
college?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
are you guys going to ever date in college, or is it just going to be hookups completely?
Well, for my school, like no one is actually exclusive. Like there's like 3 couples that have been together and like obviously they have sex all the time, but it's like weird because not a lot of people are like dating and it's mostly just like hookups on the weekends or like you get drunk at a party and it happens and it's like a one-time thing and then it's usually like done. Like I don't know if there's a lot of talking and like having sex.
Which I feel like
Yeah.
was my high school experience, but I do remember there were a lot of relationships
But it was very
too.
consistent hookups. I think like if you got drunk and you were at a party, that was the person you were gonna
Right,
hook up
like
with.
you knew that this girl was hooking up with this guy all year round.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the case now in high school? Like, what's the time limit? Is it like, oh, you're hooking up with this guy for the semester? Or is it literally just this week it's this guy and then next week it's another guy?
I think it's like different for different people, but it's pretty common to have like different people every like month or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
That makes-
only 3 couples in your entire grade.
There's only 500 people in your
There's
whole
only
school.
500.
I
but
know,
yeah.
but still, like, so that means that you have how many people in your grade?
Like 100
and some.
something, yeah.
And so, but there's only 6 people in the senior class that are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, we know who prom king and queen are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Wait,
much.
so what are there still cliques in high school, like jocks and like the nerds and like the goths?
I think our school is different because we're all like a little family and everyone knows each other because it's so small. And like, yeah, there's like the football players and then like the art people, but we all like hang out together.
Okay.
And we're pretty like close.
So there's no bullying.
There's
from
no
the groups.
bullying at our
No
school
So
at
when
all.
you watch 13 Reasons Why, I don't know if you watch
Oh,
it.
of course I
Okay.
did.
You think this is accurate or not accurate at all
I would say
for your high school?
accurate for our high school when it comes to like not bullying, but maybe just like talking, just saying like rude stuff on social media and like not thinking about how your actions affect other people.
So bullying is really just through social media now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, what are the forms? Like, has anything happened to you or
Yeah,
a friend?
actually.
Can you tell us?
So this is like a weird situation, but I was in class and we had a substitute teacher and the substitute teacher had no idea what was going on. So we were just talking and
Substitute teachers never know.
I
what's
know.
no,
going on.
literally, this
That's why I
like,
wanna be a
lady
substitute.
was on her phone in the back the whole entire time. But anyways,
I feel so bad for them.
No, I know, right? So we were sitting in class and someone was talking about like, are there predators at our school? And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, there was a party that happened last week and a guy got drunk and like raped this other girl. And I was like, what? How did I not know about this? And they were talking about it because like 13 Reasons Why is bringing up a lot of questions about like rape and stuff. And the girl and the guy knew each other and they were like hooking up, but she never like consented fully.
Okay.
So she said like later, like, oh, it was rape or whatever. And I said that's surprising to me because I don't know of any guy at our school that would like do that. That was just shocking.
Right.
And then I said like, before I heard that story, I would be okay. Like, we were talking about this weird random situation that if I was walking home, because I live like 3 minutes from my house, if I was walking home and like my car broke down, would I be scared to get in the car with any of the guys at our school? And I was like, no. And everyone in my class flipped out and was like, what? There's so many people that you shouldn't get in a car with. And I was like, what? Like who? And they listed a couple people and I was like, okay, like that makes sense. But I don't think anything would happen to me in those 3 minutes to get home. Like, I don't fear my safety. So we were talking about it, and for some reason, it was like, we got on the topic of rape in college and like in high school, and they were saying like I should be more cautious, and I was like, I'm pretty cautious. I don't know like what you're talking about, but anyway, we had this like kind of fight in my class, and it was like everyone against me because I was saying that in like I think girls need to be more cautious in college when they go to parties about like where they are, who they're with, like where their drink is, and just be like careful. And even if they do like want to get drunk and party and have fun and be careless, like you still should have some kind of responsibility in like where you are and being like safe. And so they were saying like that's victim blaming, and I was like, no, I think like girls like have the right to have fun and go crazy, but they still like should be smart.
Right.
And even if a guy did come on to them and like something were to happen, like it's completely the guy's fault, like 100%, like not your fault, like if you didn't consent or whatever. But like people twisted it around, and on social media, like all these random people like were retweeting it, and these like college people were saying like you're victim blaming
To you?
to me, like this is ignorant. And then this one girl was like, oh, my cousin got raped, are you saying it's her fault?
Oh, no.
And I was like, this is not what I'm saying, because one girl like wrote this weird like paragraph on her notes app about like how I was victim blaming in class, and like we need to put a stop to this ASAP. And I was like, well, yeah, if I read that, I would like defend the girl. But I was like, I never even said that.
Guys, this is crazy. Like, you can get really, really bullied.
Oh yeah, it's
in
bad
high school
in
through
high
social
school.
media. We went to high school at a time where there was nothing but Facebook was a thing, but it was for people that were already in
Facebook for me,
college.
I couldn't sign up for Facebook, or I was told not to until college, because they opened it up to high school my last month, and they were like, oh, don't even do it, just do it with your college email, because that'll be cooler and more exclusive.
Well, Geraldine, now that you just shared that with us, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather go to high school without Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter existing? Because that's how we went to high school. Do you think it would make high school easier?
I think guys, like in the topic of dating, would be more comfortable going up to a girl and like talking to her, and it would be more of like, yeah, let's go on a date, instead of stopping and being like, want to hook up tonight. Like literally,
They snap you, want to hook up tonight?
no, that's a real thing. And then you want to know what our hookup spot is in like our town?
Yes.
The Rite Aid parking lot. Swear on my
It's
life.
just like Edge of 17. It's like
We
the
were
Edge of 17.
Yes, my favorite movie, or one of them.
We just watched it.
We just watched it last night.
For the
It's
third
amazing.
time.
It's so funny.
But guys, there's always a parking lot. There's always a parking lot.
So you just do it in the back of their car.
Yeah, basically. That's also where like drugs get passed. I don't know what goes down in that parking lot, but
Wait, before we get to drugs, what does hooking up mean?
Oh, thank you,
in
Naz.
high
So
school?
I was just going to ask.
Sorry,
Like-
Ash.
I don't know, sex in a car. That's pretty much
So
like,
hooking up
So
means
hooking up is
sex.
anywhere from like blowjobs,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
to
true.
sex. Okay.
So if you're just making out, are you saying I'm just making out, or are you saying we're hooking up?
We're just like making out. I think.
Yeah, okay, that's funny, but Lauren, to me, in high school and college, hooking up to me meant from making out to before sex.
Hooking up to
and
Ash
now,
was making out.
and
Yeah.
now it basically just means sex.
It's like casual, repeating times.
Yeah.
of
I
sex.
think it's geographical. Like in Florida, hooking up was like having sex. So I think it's where you're from.
So how old were you when you heard like your friend had sex for the first time?
I was really young, like 7th grade, maybe. No, isn't that just sad? Isn't that just so
So
sad?
how old are you in 7th grade?
You're 13?
Yeah.
I have friends
12
that
to
lost it
13.
then.
12 to 13.
Yeah.
12 to 13.
I have a friend that lost it when she was 14.
So having sex in high school is completely normal.
Yeah. Like super, super normal.
Okay.
Can I go back to drugs for a
Yeah.
second? Drugs are being sold at a Christian high school.
It's not a Christian.
not
high
Christian.
school.
I mean, That's the college.
forgot it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So like we have like a really smart school because it's a charter school, and like all of my friends are going to like Berkeley and UCLA, and that's like the norm. And all of them, like everyone smokes weed. That's just normal. Like smoking weed isn't a drug.
It's not even a drug.
It's not. It's totally fine, right? And then I don't know. There's a few people that do cocaine, and it's kind of like I don't know. We all look at them like that's sketch. Like, what are you doing? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like
it's a slippery slope.
Is that the other big drug that's mainly being? Is it like weed and coke, or are there other ones?
I feel like there's other ones. I just don't know. Like no one does. Like a few people do acid.
Really?
Yeah, that's like sketchy to me.
Is there
I
a
don't even wanna
group of
go.
people in your high school that are like the drug users?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about them.
No one like talks to them. They just are kind of like they wear like black and like have hoods.
So are they like
Are
the
you
gothic
afraid of them being
emo?
the violent ones?
I mean, I don't know. They're like not violent to us. Like I'm not scared for my safety, like I said, but they're just like, we know that if you want something, like you go to them.
Okay.
That's so interesting.
All right, now I want to go back to social media and the fact that you can actually be on your phone in class, because even when I was in college and grad school, like it was very frowned upon to have your phone out. But now you're saying it's something that the teachers can't even control. It's just going to be on your lap.
Yeah, it's always on our lap. It's on our phone. Like I like take notes and like we'll send a Snapchat really fast and then like continue and be fine. And my teachers really don't care.
Wow.
Is it on the syllabus though? You can't have your phone out?
Oh no, like they don't even mention it.
Wait, what?
Are you really paying attention in class?
Yeah, are you guys learning things?
Like, well, all my classes are AP, and so the like teachers don't really care what we're doing because it's like self-taught. But I remember one time it was really funny. It was like fantasy football season or whatever, and one of my friends is like a total jock and like all he cares about is football, and he was like watching a live video of a football game, and the teacher like came over and was like, oh my gosh, what's the score? And they were watching it for like 5 minutes on the phone, and like the teachers don't care.
So everyone has their phones in their lap. Everyone's snapping in between like paragraphs.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you're learning and you're getting like a good education? Like, do you feel like the teacher is attentive and all the students are like participating in the class?
Some students really like don't care and they're like not focusing, but I know like if I'm interested, like my psychology class, like when we have like really good conversations, like I'm not gonna have my phone out because I actually care about like what we're talking about.
Do you wish that there was a no phone policy in class or no?
It doesn't like disturb, I don't know if disturb's the right word, but it doesn't like mess up my learning. So I feel like it's fine.
What would happen if your phone was taken away for a day? Would you feel really anxious when you got it back that you would miss something important?
We actually like our school, because we're so like everyone has our phones out, we had this disconnect-a-thon. It was actually kind of my idea in a way because I'm like the president of this club called Interact, and every year we do a disconnect-a-thon where it's like our club. We get people to like give money and we send out like, I don't know, money to like students in Mexico. But like we get the money by doing like a jogathon, but it's with no phones. So we give our phones to the teacher, and it's like on a Saturday, and all Saturday we just like play games and stuff. So the school,
I love this.
Isn't that cool? So the school did a whole wide disconnect-a-thon on like Easter, right before Easter break, where we did like, we put money in eggs and we like hid them around the school. And then in your first period class, I think you gave your phone to your teacher, and then it was sent to the office and you got like a wristband. And so we gave you food. And then if you got the wristband, you could participate in the egg hunt. And so everyone like went and found these eggs, and some eggs had like free prom ticket, or not prom, like morp ticket or whatever, and then some had money, candy, like just no phones for the day.
That's an amazing idea.
And you weren't stressed out.
No, like, well, the funny part was I have a friend who is like addicted to her phone. She can't like spend 5 seconds without it, and she's so anxious without it. And so she's like, what if like my boyfriend texts me, like one of the 3 people have a boyfriend, right? And then at the end of the day, she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like how much more I was talking to other people when I didn't have my phone.
So do you think it's funny that when I was in school, one time my phone went off and the teacher answered? He was like, give me the phone.
Oh my gosh.
This is my freshman year of college. Then he goes, hi, Mom. This is Ashley's teacher. Her phone went off in class, so I'm going to take it for the rest of the next like hour or so.
Oh my gosh.
Is that really embarrassing to you? Could you fathom that?
I just like, I don't think, that's just crazy to me.
We would get in so much trouble if we were caught on our phones.
Oh, yeah.
You could like go to detention if you were on your
in the
phone.
desk, and I'd have to be like looking up and texting like this. Oh, sorry.
Say that again.
Well, they can't really see what I was doing anyway.
Right, you're right.
Oh, wait.
Wait, guys, what changed? Like, what went from like no phone policy to like free for all? Like, what changed?
In 6th grade, I remember I had a phone because I walked home from school. And in 6th grade, like in the middle of a science lab, I got a pocket full of sunshine, but Natasha Bedingfield came out like on my phone in the middle of a science lab.
Ringtones were the best.
Yeah, ringtones. And my teacher was like, what? And she was like, you can't have your phone out. She laughed, but it was like no phones at all. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like fine. So
what changed then? Because you lived in it.
I think it's the need for the the teachers to be on their phone too. So it's like they're so attached to their phone. Who am I to say to not have your phone?
Well, did you notice anything from middle school till now, till senior year of high school? Like what changed? When did it change?
I remember they were stricter in middle school about phones for sure. And then in high school, like my teachers are always on their phones and we're on our phones. And
So
it's just
Lauren's
like,
right. Yeah.
oh, and also we use our phones for school. So like Google Docs is everything. And like I've typed papers in class on my phone.
Okay, that's a question that all of us had. Do you guys even use textbooks anymore?
Our school does, but like I have an electronic copy of mine, so I don't really like open it.
So do you have iPads in class? Do you have laptops in class? Are those allowed?
We have laptops in most of my classes.
Okay, but they're in the classroom. It's not your personal laptop. you
Right,
bring.
it's in the classroom.
Okay.
Do you guys use calculators like for everything now? Because I was not allowed to use calculators.
Depends on which class.
Yeah, it depends on which class. Like in my pre-calc class, we had like everyone had a calculator, and then on the test you couldn't use your phone. You had to use like a real one.
Mm-hmm.
And then for like graphing, we had like a graphing test, and it was like no calculators allowed. But that's about it.
This is so interesting.
It really is.
This is crazy.
I want to talk about popularity and social rankings. If you had to pick which clique you are, I know you said you don't really have that many
Yeah.
definitive cliques, but what were you? Popular, middle of the line, a loser?
Oh, that's kinda,
nerd.
like hard. I'm really social. Like I know almost everyone, and I'm in like our student government.
So you're popular.
I guess
Student
so.
government was always popular.
Yeah, I was
for
in,
me.
I was in student government. So if everyone knew who you were
Yeah.
technically not
I was like
someone that didn't have many
the
friends.
homecoming princess, like last year, whatever. So like people know me, and it's because I'm like the MC for all of our school events.
Oh my God, we're the same
the
person.
same
Oh my
person,
God,
yeah.
yeah. I
So-
hosted pep rallies and I was prom queen.
That's what I do. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
you don't wake up every morning thinking, I hate this place. I can't believe I'm going here, and you want to die.
I mean, I have my days, but like pretty much.
But Lauren brings that up because why? You were like that in high school, right?
The first day of 9th grade, I was like, I can never do this again. I can never go back to this
I
school.
remember you being like
I coming
that.
home,
I was a
I
senior.
cried so hard for the entire week, and until I graduated, I'd wake up with a terrible stomach ache, and my mom would drive me, and she'd be like, she'd feel so bad for me, like I couldn't deal with high school.
It's
I
crazy how people
remember-
have such different high school. Like I
Yeah.
loved high school. I miss it so much.
Oh, I would never miss it, but so it's funny because I remember Lauren coming home and being so upset, and I'm like, Lauren, yeah, I mean, like it's not fun, but it's like definitely not bad. I don't know what you're crying about, because I was always middle of the line. I wasn't popular. I was accepted by the popular kids. Like, it sounds bad, but like if I wanted to have been popular, I could have been. But I was like, oh, that's scary. Like that's drinking, that's sex, that's like too much gossip, because I don't like confrontation. And they were always in a big fight. You know, there's always
There's a lot
somebody
of drama.
alienating.
Drama is the word.
Yeah.
So much. You're so dramatic.
Yeah,
So much
I was,
drama.
And then I ended up being on The Bachelor and like doing all that in front of
then-
people.
and now you're the most
years
popular of
later.
them all.
So I think it's just funny. For me, I did well in school. I did what I was told, and I was fine. You know,
It's funny because we have everything then. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like you.
we don't have an outcast. We don't have a real nerd.
Right, that's true. But Geraldine was like popular. You were middle of the line.
I don't
Lauren
know if
didn't
popular
like.
is the right word, but like
Well
well
known.
known.
Well known.
Yeah.
Well, why do you say? Are there popular?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference between them and you?
I just like I will like do spontaneous things with my friends and like go out at night and like do stuff. But like when I host a party, it's like, do you know the game Fibbage?
No.
It's this weird game on the Apple TV that you play where it's like they ask you, I don't know how to describe it. Okay, so there's like a fact, like in North Carolina, this man got sued for blank. And so on your phone, you like type in an answer. And so my friends will say something stupid like got sued for masturbating in public, like something just weird. And then the real answer is just like super weird and just like strange. And then you get points for like if other people guess your answer, and then points for selecting the right one. So
Okay.
like that's my kind
It's like
of
Cards Against
Right.
Humanity, but
Yeah,
a little
it's
more
Cards
updated.
Against
Right, so you like game nights. You're like us.
Yeah.
You're very
Yeah.
safe, and you
Right.
like nice, fun, non-confrontational
Yeah.
nights with some pizza. What do the popular kids do? What's the difference?
like just drinking, hooking up, like I don't know, doing like I don't know if sketchy is the right word, but just hanging out with like their friends and doing like talking, like saying dramatic things and just causing like problems.
So it's exactly the way I said it was.
So
Yeah.
it's the popular kids that are the ones that throw parties at their house
Yeah.
and their parents let them and they let them drink and let their friends drink.
And I feel like they all
That was
hate each
my high
other.
school.
Like they're like popular and they're friends, but there's always drama like
Yeah.
with them. And I'm like, I don't want
They'll
anything
never
to do
see
with
each other
that.
after high school.
Yeah.
When did that group form? Because for me, honestly, the popular crowd started to come together in like 5th or 6th grade. And that happened to be the crew, like the ones that were pretty, and I don't even know what the word is. Were they pretty? I mean,
They're naturally beachy.
naturally like blonde,
California-esque.
California-esque, like natural, all-American looking.
They were the
most-
Abercrombie and Fitch
Yeah.
bags.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
were the naturally athletic people. Whereas for me, I was like this girl with huge eyebrows, and I just didn't make any sense with them.
If you only knew back then that they'd be so in right now.
That
Your
what would be-
eyebrows.
oh, your
Eyebrows,
eyebrows. Yeah, totally. So when did they start assimilating?
It's like the same, like when they were younger,
Yeah.
like 5th and 6th grade. I remember these girls would like wear makeup and like they were always like the soccer girls and like, I don't know.
Ooh, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. You first.
Do any of these girls hook up with older guys, like, in your high school, they hook up with like older, like college
All
guys
of
or
the-
beyond college
Yeah.
guys?
So all of the really pretty girls date college guys.
Okay, that's-
But my question is like, what 22-year-old guy wants to date a
Skee balls.
17-year-old? That's
Gross,
just
gross,
gross.
gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so crazy. I wanted to go back real quick because you said makeup. So I didn't wear makeup or know how to do my hair until college, really. Like I wore mascara and lip gloss. Like, what is the high school landscape now? Like, do you guys wear makeup?
Oh,
is
yeah.
it only popular people? Like,
Some
what is it
people
like?
don't, but like my friends will go to like Sephora and get like spend like $300 on like palettes and like
So everybody's
all of that.
contouring these days.
Oh,
Whether you're in 6th grade or 12th grade, you're
Like
a
at
contour.
school, not like at parties, at school they're contouring.
yeah.
Like you
Some
get
people are
ready
casual.
for school.
It's like half and half, I think.
Wow.
Like some people will go with like no makeup, but then like contour and all that on the weekends, and then other people will like go full face, like wearing like nice clothes, and I'm like, why? You're literally sitting in class for 7 hours. What's the point?
Do you think that's influenced by certain celebrities or the makeup tutorial culture?
Makeup tutorials, without a doubt.
Awesome.
Isn't like YouTube such a thing for high schoolers? Like, do you guys, okay, because I just want to say that I never watch YouTube. I never really go on YouTube. Lauren, Ashley, do you guys go on YouTube?
I go on
Aside
YouTube.
from makeup tutorials, do you like watch other people on YouTube, like other people your age?
This is totally Lauren's thing. I don't get it when she has YouTube constantly up. This is where we have a small generational gap.
Year gap.
The year
Wow,
gap
like-
that Laura and I have, or the 2.5 years.
Right.
I go on YouTube when I miss something and it's making buzz throughout like
Yeah,
the
I go on
country.
YouTube to watch someone on Ellen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
me
So
too.
Lauren's part of this new generation where there's all these YouTube stars, right? And that YouTube's
Yeah.
such a thing. Tell us about this, Geraldine.
I don't go on YouTube except to watch like weird, funny videos, but like really random ones. But there's like these YouTubers that are just super famous that like everyone watches that I have like no idea about.
crazy.
I don't watch super famous ones. I watch
Okay.
little silly ones that like are kind of like you
Right.
would like this person, but like
Yeah.
not
Got
that
it.
many hits.
Does everyone wear thongs in high school?
Yes, if
Okay.
you don't, it's like looked down upon.
That's awesome.
And if you wear pads and not tampons, it's looked down upon too, right?
Yeah. I don't
Because
think anyone
my
really knows
mom,
that.
my mom was like, "You're not gonna put a tampon in," because my mom was like that in middle school. I should say it was middle
That's
school.
so funny.
But she was like so anti.
My mom is still anti-thong. She still thinks it's gross that we wear them. She doesn't understand.
butt floss.
Yeah, my mom doesn't get your butt flawed.
But hold on, why is discriminated against to wear boy shorts or something?
I don't know. It's just like everyone goes to Victoria's Secret and gets thongs. Like that's what you do. And if you're wearing like leggings, because our whole school wears leggings,
You'd see the thongs,
you see
right?
it, and
you
it's
need
like
thongs for leggings.
that's gross.
No,
Yeah.
but can I just say that I would wear like low cut jeans when Britney Spears made it like, what is it called? Not low cut jeans. Is that what it is?
Low rise.
Low rise jeans. And I would like bring my thong up so that guys would see my
I would,
thong.
so
I would,
funny.
I would leave school. I mean, leave our house like normal, and then I'd pull it.
Lauren,
up.
you do it too.
No.
Thank God. It's so fucking embarrassing. I can't believe I just admitted that. Like, that's so
That's
gross.
so
Why would
funny.
I do that? And
You
I'm not
guys,
even
that makes me
slutty.
sad.
That's
like that was like sexy to the young boys.
Wait, but Geraldine, is that a thing now? Like, do people make their thong show so guys see it, like the guy sitting behind you? Or
No, because like everyone wears it and just like so there's no need
so
to
it's
like
not
show
a thing
it
anymore. That's so crazy.
Okay, Instagram. So, how much drama is created over the engagement on Instagram? Do you guys look at the feed where you're like, he liked that picture, she liked this picture?
Definitely.
And can they move up in their social rankings, like become more popular if they have a really good Instagram?
I don't know if they would like move up. That's a good question. But like people are talking about, oh, she has such a nice feed. And I think that like
It's like looking at your feed.
Yeah, and like the colors. Okay, I have a story. I was a sophomore in high school, and this girl approached me and was like, so I think I need to clean up your feed for you because your pictures, no, this is like real. Your pictures, like none of the colors match. And it's just kind of like this one has like a yellow tone or something and this one doesn't. And I was like, but they're like family pictures. What do you mean I have to like fix them? So she deleted my pictures and I like told her she could, but I like instantly regretted it. And it was like this one selfie that she left and she was like, now all your pictures have to like match this. And she showed me this app called like Visco or whatever where you could like fix the colors to make sure that it would work. But I'm like, I don't care. Like mine right now is super messy, but like other girls freak out about their feed.
I feel like I'm Kylie Jenner right now and I'm just like realizing things and it's like you guys are living our life right now because what you're saying is like things that people our age are now concerned about and like that scares me because I feel like high school is hard enough and now you guys are just adding all this social media pressure like on top of having to be popular and having to be cool and like having to get good grades and study while your phone's in your lap and now your feed has to fucking look good.
Yeah,
like, Jesus Christ.
What I always worry about, what I always worry about is like if you're not invited to a party and then you immediately see that the party's going on and you weren't there and you weren't invited. Like that happens all the time. People feel really sad and they get really depressed. Does that happen to you ever?
Yeah, all the time. Like I remember the other day, like all my friends went out and like hung out and I had to study and was like doing stuff anyway, but it was like I saw on like all of their Snapchats what was going on. I was like, okay, cool, you could have at least like asked.
That's such a good point, Lauren, because when we were in high school, there were digital cameras was the thing. So I would see people showing pictures in class and I would feel left out, but not in the moment at home. Like I never knew that what's her name had a party last night that I wasn't invited to.
You'd have to wait till they upload on Facebook a couple days later and then you would feel a little bit better because it wasn't happening right then.
Yeah. I feel bad for high schoolers.
Do you feel like a lot of your peers have an increased level of depression and anxiety because of the social pressure that social media adds? Like you're like, oh, I have to be active and I have to be hanging out with people all the time.
Oh yeah.
Or I need to have the coolest outfits and all that.
So like, especially with selfies, I think that is when people get like the most depressed because like girls will post a selfie, like some of my friends do just so a guy will like it or whatever. But what they do,
we still do that.
Right? So but you send like 5 of like your best selfies to your friend and like my friends are super honest and they'll be like, okay, none of those look good, like do it again. And so I just am like, shoot, like that like makes me feel like crap. And then I don't know if he like doesn't like it, but he's like on Snapchat, I'll be like, okay, cool. Awesome. Great.
Guys, this is sad.
How's now Instagram stories taken over your Snapchat a little bit more? Are more people using Instagram stories?
Instagram,
yeah, because we feel like Snap's on the way out. But clearly you need Snapchat if you're in high school or the guy will not talk to you.
Right.
God,
it's just weird, like with the
crazy.
guys don't ask girls out anymore, and it like bothers me.
Yeah, well, hello, we're living in that world too, but in high school, that shouldn't be happening if you're sitting right next to them.
I was never asked out in high school once. The only person that ever asked me out was my prom date, and he like wanted to go out and get dinner before we actually went to prom. Now, prom proposals and stuff, we all know that that's huge.
Huge, yeah.
But let's talk about like asking out on dates. So they're not going to ask you out. Do you have friends that have been asked out properly? And do your friends with boyfriends, was it just like a hooking up, and then eventually they became official? Or did they actually go on little movie dates?
Yeah, how did they get the boyfriend? That's what we want to know.
Okay, so, well, like from my own experience, I remember like my best friend was like the guy that I liked. And then we kind of decided to start like dating. So we would be like, I always had like really cute date ideas. So he would be like, okay, you can pick where we were going. And so we would go on like actual dates, but he wouldn't like ask me, I guess. So I don't know. And then to get asked out on a date, a girl, like, it just doesn't happen unless you're like dating, and then I guess it's normal to just like hook up on the couch and eat pizza.
Well, how are you dating if you're not going on dates?
You're on the couch and you're
you're just
Yeah.
hooking
sucking
up.
some
Like you're not
weed while
doing-
eating some pizza.
That's what I was doing. I was hooking up
doing
with
that too.
I was hooking with guys in their car behind Shadowwood, which is this movie theater in Boca. Like that's what I did.
I mean, I obviously am so out of this because I didn't even have my first kiss until I was 19, which is so embarrassing, but whatever.
That's not embarrassing at all.
It's not. Have you
Mine
had your
was-
first kiss?
Have you ever seen Never Been Kissed?
Yes, best movie ever. True Barrymore.
Oh wait, I have a quick question before I
Yeah.
forget. Do you guys watch Sex in the City, or is that too old now?
No.
Do you guys watch
You don't
my
watch it. Do you watch
God.
Girls?
Girls?
Yeah, HBO.
No.
Do you guys watch TV?
Well, like my friends are just too busy because if we're not going out, we're like studying.
What do you mean? What do you do after school?
They're
I used to go
studying,
home and watch.
Ashley.
I go to work and I study.
Oh, okay, she works.
Where do you
I
Where do
work
you
at
work?
a law firm.
Oh, fancy. Is your dad a lawyer?
Geraldine, I'm really proud of you.
You're really going
You're
places.
slaying at high school. I just want to let you know you're slaying
You're
right
also
now.
going to slay in college, and therefore you're going to slay at life.
Thank
Also,
you.
what you need to do is go home and watch all of Sex in the City before you move to Denver
will.
and go to college.
I will. I'll do that.
And then
for
you
sure.
have to watch Girls and know how it's really going to be.
Okay.
No, do not,
That's
Girls
so
is
funny.
non-accurate.
Girls is the most accurate
No,
thing
it's
you can
not.
ever
It's
watch.
I have to watch both of them.
You have to
Yeah.
watch Girls, though.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait. I definitely had a question. Oh crap! Where was it? It was.
Oh, we were talking about Never Been Kissed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
think.
When was your first kiss?
My first kiss was New Year's Eve. This New Year's Eve.
Good. Good.
And I was like
Ever?
17 years old. Yeah. That was my first
Wait,
kiss.
that's amazing.
Lauren was 16.
I was. Oh yeah. Was I 16? I was 16.
He was like the first boy that I actually like, because I don't like guys. Like I was always the girl growing up that was friends with like all of her. Every girl friend I had was a guy, and so but I never liked them. It was just like, oh, they're like my bros, I guess. I don't know what the right word is. But then I liked this guy for forever, and he never liked me back. And he would tell me how he hooked up with all these people, and I was literally so sad. But we were like best friends, and we
the
went
worst.
to Disneyland together. We were like best friends, but he like liked other girls, and I was fine with it. And then eventually I wrote him a letter, which is really weird.
No, it's not
No,
like
actually,
letters.
we're the same.
Yeah.
So I wrote him a letter.
Ashley's good with words.
I can't
written word.
verbalize
The written
them.
words.
I
Sometimes
can write them.
Yeah, me too.
So I wrote this like amazing letter. I was so proud of it, and I just said like how much I appreciated our friendship. And then it was on like Christmas, I guess. Not Christmas, but it was like a Christmas letter. And then I gave him this amazing gift. And then he was like, I need to see you right now.
Oh my God, this is so cute.
Wait,
Wait,
this
this is Edge of 17.
This is like 2 a.m. So I was
Oh my
like,
God.
shoot. So I drove to his
Wait,
house.
did he text this to you or snap it to you?
He texted me this
Whoa.
because we were best
Text,
friends.
guys,
so
this is a
text
big deal.
big, right? So I drove to his house and we like sat in this. What's it called? What's the
You
one of
left
those-
your house
a
at 2
cul-de-sac?
a.m. and
Yeah.
your parents didn't know?
Like I told my mom and I said I'll be right back.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Your mom was excited for this boy to happen because
Yeah,
my mom
that's
would let
true.
me do the same thing.
She like loved him and she hates him now, but that's like a different
Okay, so you
story.
go to a
So
cul-de-sac.
what's it called where people get married under? It's like
Gazebo.
Gazebo. So he's
That
like,
word is so hard to remember.
I don't know
always
why I
forget
always
it
forget
too.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I want to hear the end.
So we go to this gazebo and we sit, and he like comes out and he's in pajamas, and I'm like still wearing this like Christmas Eve dress, and I think I look amazing, right? And so we sit in this gazebo and we're talking, and we're like, so we're best friends. Are we gonna date or are we not? And we're like, dating's a big deal. Like, do we want to pursue this?
But you guys hadn't kissed yet.
we hadn't kissed yet.
You had not.
Right.
And you were considering going into a relationship
Yeah,
having
isn't
not
that
kissed.
so weird?
That is weird.
And so, like, I felt like it was gonna happen, and then I was like scared, and I think I kept like turning away a little bit because I was just scared. And he's like a kind of a sketchy person. I was like, this isn't gonna work out. I keep saying sketchy. I don't know why.
Just sketchy
But
makes sense.
It just makes sense. And I was like, this would never work out. This is just stupid. And so then I like went on vacation and we were like talking, and then New Year's Eve came, right? And so I was at a party.
What a perfect day for a first kiss. I've never been kissed at midnight, confession time. Neither has Naz.
I have, but by a girl.
This is my first year.
My
It's
friend
so
Jana.
funny.
Anyways, keep going.
So wait, where was I? Oh, he worked at a country club and he was a server, and I was at a party with my friends, but I kept thinking about like him, and I was like, I'm not gonna get my New Year's Eve kiss, super cliche. And I remember texting him like, how was your night? And he was like, oh, it's really slow. And I was like, can I come to the country club? And I was like, I was like telling my sister, I was like, I don't know, should I come? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, do I send or not? And I remember just like being at the party, sitting on a couch and like, do I send this or not? And so I was like, whatever. So I sent it and then he was like, sure. So I'm like, Sabrina, let's go. And I like get in the car, my sister, and I'm wearing like a leather jacket, a black dress, black heels, red lipstick. And I think I look amazing.
Oh my God, that is my go-to.
That's my go-to too, right? And so I start driving and then I'm like 2 minutes from the country club and he sends me a text that says like, no, don't come. LOL. So I'm like, no. So I'm like, Sabrina, what do I do? So I'm driving, I'm 2 minutes in and I was like, no, screw him. I'm going to go. So I get in and I drive to the country club and I realize that it's like this invite only thing. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. So I walk to the door and there's this woman there and I was like, do you think I could just like sneak in? I know that it's like invite only and it's like a dinner or whatever. And she was like, yeah, you're cute. Like just do it. And so I was like, whatever. So I walked in and it's like everyone there is 70 years old and older.
Yeah,
and they're
it's a country club.
It's a country club. And it's like a live band. And I walk in and I'm like, oh shoot, this was the worst idea I've ever had.
No, it sounds good.
So my sister and I stood at the bar and the guy was like, what can I get you? And I was like, oh, I'm driving like a Sprite. And like, I think he thought I was 21. I was like, keep an open tab. Like I thought I was so cool. I'm not at all. And so
this sounds like an epic story.
Yeah, I know.
It gets good. It gets good. It's kind of long though. So I told her, I was like, what are we going to do? We can't just sit here. And I don't know where he is. I'm looking around and it's like all these guys in like waiters outfits and I can't see him. So I was like, let's just dance. So it's all these 70-year-old men and women. And I grabbed my sister and we start dancing. Like we're just going crazy, like swing dancing. And it's really, really fun. And like, screw him. I'm having the time of my life. Like, this is awesome. All these old people and old guys are dancing with us. And it's hilarious. And so then I like see him out of the corner of my eyes and his like jaw drops. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? And so I just like ignored him and like played hard to get. I don't know. And I was just
Hard to get at this country club party. Keep going. Keep going.
When he said no.
This is amazing.
So I keep dancing. And then I'm like super tired. And so I go and sit down at the bar again. And he comes up to me and he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, I wanted to have fun. And like the country club's here and I'm a member. So I feel like I can come here.
Were you a member?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was like, okay. And he was like, but you came to see me. And I'm like, well, initially until you literally told me not to come. And I was already in the parking lot. And he was like, well, okay, well, I have to work. And I was like, fine, have fun. And it was like this really salty, like, I don't know, interaction. And I don't know, he just looked at me and it was just weird and uncomfortable. But then we were dancing and he kept looking at me and laughing and we kept making like eye contact from across the room. So then like midnight comes and like everyone starts kissing and I look at my sister and we start laughing. And then I look at him and then he starts laughing and we're both laughing and everyone else is kissing and I'm like, this is the worst idea I've ever had.
Yes, and my New Year's every year.
So then I was like, shoot, what do I do? So I just decided to like go home and not tell him. I just left and I was like, screw it. Like he didn't want me to come. So I go home and left and he was like, what, why did you leave and not tell me? And I was like, I don't know. It was just weird. And then he said, well, I made food for you. That's why I was in the back. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And so then he was like, okay. And then he like didn't respond. And then like 20 minutes later, it was like 2:30 a.m. He texted me and said, come outside. So I like came outside and he's standing in front of his red Camaro with black racing stripes. And he has,
I love that you added that.
I love the detail because a high school crush's car is just so important.
Wait, keep going.
So he was holding like my bag of food and it was like bread, my favorite thing ever, and like apple cider.
She is Haley Steinfeld.
This is amazing.
And so then he was like, I brought you something. And then even though you were rude and like left without me like saying anything, I was like, well, you were rude to me telling me not to come after you said sure. And he said, whatever. And he said, I just have to do something. And then in like 2 seconds, he kissed me. And I was so taken off guard. I had no idea what was happening.
He said, I just have to do something
really fast.
And then went into it?
And then went into it in like 2.2 seconds. And then I was just like so happy. And we kissed for the longest time at 2:30 a.m. And it was so cute. And it was just really sweet.
And you're dating him now, right?
No,
wait,
he's
hold
a
on.
horrible person.
Before she talks about how he's a horrible person, I love the way that it was New Year's Eve, but you didn't do it cliched at midnight.
Right.
That's
It's
great.
a sweet story.
I love that you left too, because that just makes him so mad and want.
He was so mad.
I just have one thing to say.
Yeah.
You go, Glen Coco.
Because
Because that
you didn't
that
get
is
that
so sexy. Yeah, you guys watch Mean
Yes,
Girls, right?
of course. It's my favorite.
Wait, how old were you when
mean-
Mean Girls came out?
She was in first grade.
It's 2002.
I didn't watch it till like 8th grade.
What year were
I
you
watched
born?
it. It came out in 8th grade for me.
Oh, okay. So
So-
then
It was literally when you were 1.
It was 2002. When were you born?
in 1999. But I didn't watch it for the first time
in
till
1999. We went
We're
to
talking
the moon.
and having a conversation with
1999.
What?
Oh no, that's
Is it funny
totally
that
not
we're like
right.
having an adult conversation with somebody who was born in 1999?
Guys, I was 9. How old were you guys?
I was 11.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't work out.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
but
what
that
happened?
story is very epic. That's a very epic
It was a
high school
cute
crush
first-
story.
It's the
how
best
long
first
did
high
it take
school.
for you to kiss someone else after, or have you kissed
I
someone?
haven't kissed anyone else.
Well,
because
because it was January. It's
It
not
was-
that long.
January. Yeah. Just because like the guys at my school are just crappy and I have like
Yeah.
no interest in them.
Okay.
Are you heartbroken over this guy?
I was for forever. No, and I remember like
Forever. It was 4 months ago.
I know.
No,
but it feels like forever.
Every day you wake up, it feels like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had liked him for like 3 years before New Year. So it's like I've been heartbroken, I
Yeah.
guess.
You've
for, like, a
essentially
long
been
time.
dating him in your head for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not heartbroken
So is he
anymore.
dating anyone else or hooking up with other people that you
I know he
of?
hooks up with people like literally every week,
Oh,
but I don't know.
Cut to the heart.
So you have to see him in high school. You run into him in the halls.
Unfortunately.
You say you're not friends anymore.
We don't speak.
Wow. What is that like, breaking up with someone in high school?
It was like, well, for us, I remember we were not on a date, but we were like eating in and out, like watching a movie. And then he was just really distant. And I was like, can you just tell me what's going through your head? And he was like, no, I don't want to do it right now. And I was like, just say it. And so he was like, okay, I don't want to date at all. And then I was like, okay. And then it was just this really weird conversation. And then like the next day, he was like, but can we still be friends? And I was like, I don't like know. Like
I can't be
what?
your friend. I
That's
don't
Naz.
understand. This.
Yeah.
I recently just went through something similar where he was like, I need you in my life. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be your friend.
He kind of guilt tripped me and was like, well, we've been best friends. Like, you can't just leave me like that. Like, we made promises to each other that we were always going to be friends. And I was like, well, you broke my heart. Am I supposed to just like pretend like I'm fine while you date other people?
Yeah, I feel you, girl. But
Thanks.
the shitty part for you is like, I don't have to see him. Like, I can unfollow him and never see him ever again.
Yeah.
But you have to run into him
Yeah,
all
and
the
it's
time.
weird because it's like we were best friends. Like, we talked every day from like 7 a.m. to like 1 every single day. And then all of a sudden to just stop talking.
So we're gonna do another podcast about that because the concept of saying goodbye. I think it's so weird how you get so close to someone
Yeah.
and then they're just gone. It's
Gone.
fucking weird. But we'll talk about that on another day.
It's awful.
I'm sorry, Geraldine.
It's fine. I just, like,
Are you
try
so
not to
excited
see
to
him.
graduate and
Oh,
just go?
I can't wait.
You're gonna go to college, join a sorority. He's gonna be a loser,
Yeah.
and you're gonna post a hot pic and
Yeah.
slay.
It'll
You're
be
gonna win
great.
this.
Is there anything else?
No, I think we're pretty
nailed
good.
it.
Geraldine, is there
Hold on.
anything from
That's
high
what I
school
was
that you
mad.
feel like you need to tell us that like we didn't cover?
Wait, say that again because we just overlapped.
Is there anything going on in the high school world that you feel like we need to know, us non-high schoolers? Or do you think we covered it all?
Or any way we can make your experience better. Because that's, you know,
Lauren.
I wanted to be a high school teacher and I've like can't get myself to go to graduate school. But I some way want to help because I was miserable in high school and I was like, if I can make it better for anyone, I would love to.
Aw.
My high school experience, like, yeah, guys have been kind of crappy, but like that's high school, whatever. And then my teachers have been great. So, and they like, the cool thing about high school for me is like teachers know all the details about our personal lives and they like help us with
That's
it.
amazing.
Like, we
Wow.
have personal relationships with like all of our teachers. Like, they know who we like, they know like the new drama or whatever is happening. And then
Because
they're
they can
there.
go on Instagram too
Yeah,
and kind
that's
of
true.
know. This
Also,
is just
it's a
like the
small
edge
school.
of 17.
It's a small school, so they have the
Yeah,
luxury
they
of
know all
keeping
this
up with
stuff.
everyone
Right.
personally. Because that's so good to know. Like, I'm honestly can't do this work today, or like, you know, this just happened. I'm not
Yeah.
being my best game today. You know
That
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Wow.
I don't know if there's anything. I think we pretty much covered.
Would you go back and do high school differently now that you're graduating this month?
Graduating next month,
Oh,
yeah.
I have one more
Wow.
question. So when is prom? Did prom already happen?
Prom happened 2 days ago. Wait,
oh,
today's
what?
what's today?
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
So
So
did you
have
have
a date?
I did have a date.
And how did he ask you?
He's like my gay best friend.
Okay.
My whole school's gay. That's pretty funny. Like, I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about that because
I'm
I
not
want to talk
kidding.
about. I want to go back to 13 Reasons Why because For me, I only watched the first episode, and I was like, this is too angsty. I don't relate, because I was like just never that teenager. When I was younger, I was all about like, I really just never in my life gave a fuck about what other people thought of me, which is like probably a pretty nice quality to have.
Which is amazing, Ashley.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Same.
So in high school, I'd rather hang out with my parents, and I wasn't ashamed to say that. Whereas Lauren was always saying, like, Ashley, I can't go to dinner with mom and dad on a Saturday night at the mall and run into people. I think we've already mentioned that in the podcast before. Yes. But and 13 Reasons Why, I can't particularly relate to it, but I want to talk about how kids, I think it's all dramatic. Like, are you really that affected by a comment like that, or an Instagram comment, or like something that somebody tweeted at you? Is that really going to like sink deep down to your soul, and you're going to feel really affected by it?
Yeah.
Not just you, but your friends.
My friends, for sure. Like, if something happens, like, you get emotional, you screenshot it, you send it to all your friends, and then they like attack the person who attacked you.
Yeah. Ashley, I think you are actually a really rare case.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I think it's amazing.
That's why I'm saying I know I'm rare.
Yeah.
By saying I don't relate to this.
Yeah, I think that's amazing that you didn't care. I think now it's amplified with social media. And now it's like, because if a guy, we post a picture for a guy and he doesn't like it, it's like, oh, whatever, you know? But for them, it's like, oh my God, my guy.
Or like you gotta
didn't
hear
like
it,
my
like
photo.
so-and-so said so-and-so that your butt looked disgusting in those pants you wore yesterday. You had to wait for the chain of like
Right.
gossip
Right.
to reach you, but now it's just right there and you can see
Or
it.
like guys can call things out in the hallway. I used to get called names. I won't say what they are, but
What were
they used
they?
to call this one kid used to scream DSL in the
Oh
hallway.
yeah, I mean serious.
Which meant dick sucking lips.
Yeah.
Which in high school and middle school I'd like cry, and then now I'm like, yeah. But anyway, but imagine like people commenting that for the world to see.
It's funny that she
instead
says
of
the
just
dick
saying it in the
sucking
hallway.
lips thing, because in 13 Reasons Why, when she's like, your butt, it looks best ass. She was so affected by
Yeah, I
that.
don't
But
understand
today
that
we're
part.
like, oh, that's a compliment. But back then it used to
But
embarrass
it's
you.
not. Yeah, it's not a compliment when someone's like screaming it at you or saying it in an offensive way.
Yeah.
It's like it's all presentation.
It's also like how
Someone's,
you
like,
personally
yelling at
take
you.
insults.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
So you're going to prom with a gay guy.
Yes.
Or you went to prom with a gay guy.
Yes.
wait, did you see this guy that broke your heart
No,
at
this is
prom
funny.
with
When we
another
were
girl?
dating, he was like, so can I take this other girl to prom when we were dating? No, he is the worst person in the world. So I was like, I was trying to be like the cool, easygoing, and I was like, I guess if you want. And
You can't say that.
I know. Why did I say that, right?
Because we need to do a podcast about being the cool girl and the non-cool girl.
You cannot take you have a girlfriend. Did you call
were
him
they-
my
No,
boyfriend?
we never. That's why I never
they
had a boyfriend,
weren't.
because
They
we were
weren't
just like
boyfriend girlfriend.
talking.
She
Oh,
lived
you
in
were
the
talking.
gray area, like how you and I live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where we were like going on dates, but he didn't want to be exclusive. That was the thing. No, he literally
He wants
sent
his
me
cake and eat it too.
this. Yeah, that's exactly it. He sent me this BuzzFeed Snapchat video about this girl who was dating two guys, and he put
read
question
that.
mark, what do you think? And I was like, what do you mean, what do I think? Like, obviously I like you and I want to be like exclusive with you, but if you want to go out and like do stuff with other people, like, am I like rude for not wanting that, or am I supposed to just be like, sure, do whatever you want?
Right, and you want to be cool because you don't
I
want to
wanna
seem
be
like
cool.
you're obsessed. But then
Right.
at the same time, we all here at this table need to normalize the fact that like liking one person is okay. And
Yeah.
Liking one person is normal and fine, and this is freaking me out now because and when I was in high school, even the people who were like dating, they were always exclusive to each other. It's like, hey, I'm dating so and so right now, and then I was like, oh my god, it must be cool to date someone. But
Yeah.
they were never hooking up with random. They were never hooking up
Right.
with multiples, never ever.
well, there were exclusive couples in my high school. There were a lot, but a lot of them cheated on each other, and it was like from their own group of friends,
Yeah,
too,
that
which was
happens.
so
They're just
weird.
idiots.
I feel like that's like a high school thing. But I think the one lesson we can all take away from here is, guys, they're being like this in high school already, so no wonder they're like this when
Yeah,
they
so-
pop out into the real world with us.
Yeah.
All high school listeners, make it so it's not acceptable to be like, to ask this girl that really likes you to be the cool girl and let you hook up with other people, because it's not acceptable. It's
Yeah.
just not
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool to just say no. to drugs and to polygamy.
It's cool to say no to polygamy. That's amazing.
Just say no to polygamy.
So
we should
funny.
make sure we'll sell it at your school.
Yeah,
Start
no,
at your
I'll
school.
make the shirts for sure.
Oh man,
Sweet.
disconnect.
So funny.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well,
Well,
I think that's all we got.
Geraldine, you've been amazing. Like, thank you so
Can
much
I
for
ask one more
coming.
question?
Yes.
Yeah, Lord. We
Lauren,
could be
go
here
for it.
forever.
So the gay people in your school, are they lesbians?
Oh,
They come
so
out as lesbians?
My prom picture, there was, okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was like 7 girls and 2 of them were straight in my prom picture.
Wow. And they're not bullied at all. They're fine. People
No,
like
like our
That's
gay straight
amazing.
alliance, like it's called Saga Club, is like half our school.
when do they come out? Like,
High school,
come in high
usually.
school.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
We're
Are there any
super
transgender
accepting.
at your school?
Yes, a couple.
Wow. And okay, this is a question I've been wanting to
More
ask
than
a
a
high
couple.
schooler for a while. Are they allowed to use like what restroom, any restroom they want to?
They use the girls, but there's like a gender neutral bathroom that we have.
Oh, so you guys have a gender
It's in
neutral
our
bathroom
office, and like I don't think anyone uses it. But I'm sure if like one of the transgender people like went and like the guys got, because they're all girls that are like transgender. We don't have any
They
guys.
want to.
Right.
They're girls.
They wanna be-
The
wanna be
girls
boys.
that want to be boys, and
Okay.
I think
Oh,
one
the
of
girls that
them
want
takes
to-
Well, they're girls
hormones.
that identify as
As-
boys,
yeah,
not
they
want to be
identify.
boys. Yeah.
And I think that if they went in like a guy's bathroom, like no one would care.
So
Wow.
that's not a topic of bullying.
No.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
think so.
guys.
gets
That's really
bullied.
good to
That
hear.
is
This-
awesome. I
I
definitely
really like
feel like that
this.
generation is way more accepting. We get more
So
and more
accepting.
accepting as
So,
far as
as a
LBG.
country, we are progressive to our peoples, but when it comes to love, everyone's still a fucking dick.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
And on that note,
And on that
way
note-
to sum it up well. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for
This
having
was
me.
the best.
Bye,
This was the best.
Geraldine.
Bye.
I don't get it.
Podcast.